Coach, you just want to introduce yourself and your players and open us up on the station, please.
Shane Morrow, this is John Broom, Cade Phillips, and Caden Johnson. It was just a hard-fought game. We knew that was going to be very athletic, very physical. I was proud of our guys. We talked about it for the 3 days of practice we had. We tried to simulate what they were doing. It's hard to do. We know Coach, I know Coach Train does a good job football-wise, basketball-wise. It was a hard-fought game. You got to give them a lot of credit. They hung around for a long time. I thought we had a chance to knock them out a couple of times. We never did. Their kids played hard, but we just we overcome some foul trouble out of these two. I don't know if Caden and his brother came off the floor in the third quarter. They gutted it out, and we had some guys step up. Devin, Barksdale, ninth grader, Jalete Long don't play much. Hadn't played much lately, and those guys stepped up. We had a lot of guys step up and play well today. And that's what it took to win.
Shane. Cade, thanks for inviting to the block party. What was that like, down there? Because they were attacking the hoop a lot, and you just got to a lot of shots. So.
Well, I couldn't finish to save my life, so I felt like I got to affect the game somehow. And so tonight it was blocks. They were really trying to get it inside, and my guys were playing good D to force them into me, and so it just led to a lot of blocks tonight.
And Caden or John, how much does those blocks help on defense? How much of a boost did they give you?
A lot.
He gave us a lot of boost. He really helped us out a lot with those blocks. Because without him, they would score a lot more points than they had.
Yeah. He just alters the game in so many ways. It doesn't show up right here. I know the blocks show up, the rebounds show up, but he just alters the game in so many ways it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And that's me and him talked about it earlier in the year. He may not have been scoring as much as he was, but he just alters the game in so many ways that it doesn't show up. They have to account for him all the time. You'll see kids driving the lane and think twice about going in there. And that kind of stuff doesn't show up in the stat. It shows up to me, it shows up to a lot of people, but it affects the game a whole lot of ways.
Shane, you alluded to this, but you played a month without Cade, and then with those two on the bench, you grew the lead in the fourth quarter today. Just what does that say about how this team's built for what's to come?
Well, I think it was a blessing in disguise. I don't know if Cade didn't want to be hurt, but I think it helped us team-wise. We had some guys have to grow up and play, and I think that's starting to show off right now because we had some guys that probably wouldn't have played as many minutes if Cade would have been healthy, but had to play, and I think it helped out. I didn't realize we grew the lead with them guys sitting down.
The second time.
But yeah, a lot of those guys have stepped up and played well. And I'll be honest with you, there's 14 guys on that bench, and I'm not afraid to play any of them. I know some of them don't get to play, but I wouldn't be nervous if 1 through 14 was out there.
Caden, what was that like? Twice your two best threats were on the bench, foul trouble. First time they brought it back to like 3, and then you stretched it back out, and then they went out again, and when they you stretched it, and then they came back in, and all the fun happened. How nervous, how intense was it with them not in the game, knowing there were 2 crucial points in the game and you needed to maintain the lead if you wanted to get to Birmingham?
You had to keep your teammates up and then get back. You had to keep your teammates up and get back.
Mm-hmm. Well, was it nervous? Was it? What was it like playing? No, you couldn't have too much.
Caden don't get nervous. That's the wrong guy.
Yeah, I know.
Shane,
Yes.
when about 2 minutes left of the third quarter, it was 45, 48 or what. John's been out, Cade's been out. I felt like you were trying to hold out for the fourth quarter, but at that point you put him back in. What was your thought? That it wasn't going to be a lead in the third quarter if you didn't get a lead?
Well, there's no tomorrow. You just got to let them go. I knew they was going to. They foul out, but I'm not. If I'm going to go down, I'm going down swinging. And if we're going to lose the league, we had I think we had an 8-point lead when they went out, something in that neighborhood. But literally, there's no tomorrow. You got to put them back in because, like I said, he alters the game so much. John's going to go get the ball and help us out. The thought process is if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down swinging with my best players out there, and they're going to help us out tremendously, and they do.
John, did he say anything? Coach say anything to you at that point?
No, they asked me to go back in. They were begging me. It wasn't just like they were pulling on me, Coach, can we go back in? Can we go back in? And I just thought at that point we needed them back in.
Hey, Coach, when Rondé got his 4th foul, went to the bench, did you alter your game plan any? Because he's really the only big guy they have.
Well, we tried a couple times in the first half when he went down. It looked like he was limping a little bit. But nah, I mean, we didn't really alter our game plan. We talked a little bit about him being tired. It looked like he was tired and you know, tried to get the ball down low or at least attack the rim. But, I mean, no, we didn't specifically talk about anything other than that. He looked tired.
Will the guys address this? When this team got put together, Cade, when you arrived, this was what was on the radar. It was built kind of to do this and to get to Birmingham to go further. Now that you have gotten there, I know the job is not done, but are you continuing on the road to destiny, and what's it mean to win this to get to Birmingham now that you all are gathering? Would all three talk about that?
Well, I mean, credit to Coach Morrow. His first day in, he walked into the locker room and wrote on the board. He said, why not us? He addressed the elephant in the room as soon as we came in. And you know, that was something we kind of embraced, that we were going to have a target. And so even when we were in our kind of down periods at the beginning of the year, you know, he was like, guys, he's like, we have a bigger goal at hand. And it stayed on the board, why not us? And so, you know, since the very beginning, you know, we've kind of embraced that challenge, that's the expectation, and that's okay. That's okay to go get it. Like, what's wrong with going to get it? And so that's kind of how we've embraced it.
Both of you other guys.
The same thing. Same thing.
Are you fulfilling destiny? I mean, is this just another bump, you know, to get to the cheese and next week?
Survive in advance. It's like the March Madness, man.
Yeah, but
right
you're
now.
supposed to be doing this. I mean, your expectations were to win it out. And now that you're close to doing that, what are you feeling like? John?
I mean, we knew the expectations were going to be pretty high on us when we came in, but like Coach Morrow said, just why not us? And we just kept going hard. All practices, we still go hard to this day. And continue on, but I mean, hey, we just gonna keep moving on forward and survive in advance.
I know you guys still have school technically, you know, but are you guys gonna try making to?
Just keep asking questions about it.
Are you guys gonna try making out to the other semifinal for or the Southeast final to see, you know, who wins that one, or?
No, I know it's Booker T. Washington and St. James. I think they've already beat them like 3 times already. I haven't. I've looked ahead, but you know, one game at a time. No, I'm not going to travel down there. There's enough technology that we'll be able to see them.
Well, you get a road trip out of it if you win.
You're missing a day of school.
Nah, that's all right. We'll be all right.
Cade's like signing me up.
I'll take it.
John, in that late third quarter, after you came in, you had 2 free throws, then you had the layup, then you had 2 more free throws. 6-point run. Were you aware of that? Did you have a sense that it's time for me to do something because we're about to lose this basketball in the third quarter?
When you both I know what you're talking about. When you both went back in, you blocked the shot. He got 2 foul shots and he made 11. He made 6 points in a row. So you had an immediate impact when you went back into the game.
You feel like you had to take over?
Did you have to do that?
Oh, I was just playing. I didn't feel like I had to take over. We're a team here.
We all know he can score bunches. Y'all seen it. I mean, y'all seen it. So, I mean, that's a normal little stretch for him. 6 points.
That was a really big time to score in a bunch. I mean, it went from 3 to 9.
Quick, believe so. But yeah.
Coach, I got a question for you. Playing a team like Hanley is a huge positive physicality standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Legit football players that love to bang.
Oh, yeah.
You know that's what you're about to face. Talk about that opportunity to get to face them right before you go down to Birmingham.
Well, we talked about it, and we made up some drills to try to address it. And it's one of those things that, like, it's hard to simulate that in practice. We played some physical teams. Like I said, I told the guys, I really feel like we don't beat Westminster without going to Huntsville. I really think turning point in our season, even though our record was 1-2 at Huntsville, but playing Hazel Green, who got beat in the second round, playing Spanish Ford, who's playing today or tomorrow to go to the Final Four in 6A. I mean, playing those top teams, Madison Academy, really helped us prepare for this kind of atmosphere, this kind of just everything. And I really, you know, we tried to play some, you know, plain views of the world, but they're not as physical as those. But we tried to up our schedule a little bit, and we got it and got the job. And I really think that helped us a lot, because it's hard to simulate that kind of stuff in practice. I mean, you can't simulate those big physical kind of guys and stuff like that. But I think they're getting used to it and better. We're not quite as big in the weight room as they are.
And
We're
the
getting,
Plainview game was a track meet.
it was a little bit different. And that's, that's a credit to our team, because we can, early in the year, we was running everybody and running people out of the gym, and we still do that early on. But then when the game slows down, we can grind it out with people too. And early on, we struggled with that half court. And I told our guys, we worked and worked and worked. And it's a credit to these guys for putting in the work to address that, because we knew that was one of our shortcomings. We knew we could run with anybody. It's the whole, what happens when everybody tries to slow us down, grind it out, what can we do? And to their credit, we've survived in advance so far.
What drills?
We just made up, I just literally made up stuff like this, like just grabbing, holding. I told the guys on defense, yeah. I mean,
Oklahoma drill.
We just had guys just, we get the ball at the top, and we had a guy at the top grabbing jerseys, and we had a guy at the bottom with a big pad knocking us, and just anything I could think of just to try to simulate the physical, the grabbing, the holding aspect that we knew was coming.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all.
We got a TV